What is up? So welcome back to Upward and Sense Tarot. My name is Bethany. So I want to do another pick a card today. I wanted to do one about what makes you a badass. So I'm going to do 4 different piles. So go ahead and meditate on each of those 1, 2, 3, and 4. Excuse me. For a second to narrow in on which one you want to watch, and I will timestamp them below. But yeah, let's do a video on what makes you a badass. So I think everyone has different strengths, right? Different gifts, different qualities. So let's just like dig into why you're different, or why you're cool, or what makes you kind of badass, like what's unique about you. So this is just kind of like lighthearted. I wanted to do more of a lighthearted subject today and have a little fun. So let's do that. And yeah, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to be doing some giveaways through May and June, so definitely subscribe to get included in on those. And yeah, that's about it. Let's get started. So look at your timestamp below and we'll get started with our piles, okay? So group number 1, what makes you a badass? Let's find out. So group number 1, we're going to be doing a Tarot, and I think this is the Earth Magic Oracle. Yeah, I think that's right. So anyways, I already pre-shuffled and picked the piles, obviously. So let's dig into why are you a badass. So what's unique about you, pile 1? Let's see what Spirit has to say. Sorry, there's like debris from my candles. Okay. 2 of Pentacles. So you are very good at juggling things. Like you're very smooth at having a lot of different things on your plate and making it look easy. You might be literally quite coordinated. People see you maybe as like not fake. It's like they wonder how you do it. It's like they almost see you as like this like mystical magician. Like you're so good at maneuvering in this world that people really do take notice of this, and they almost think you have kind of like a secret weapon in your back pocket. Like they wonder how you have this strength and where it comes from. Okay, 9 of Cups. So yeah, so 9s are completion. So you are just like emotionally fulfilled. You are like naturally a very joyous person. So this makes you very badass. Like it's like a strength because you don't let stuff affect you. Like everything just rolls off your shoulders. You really do at the end of the day have a thick skin because you're so confident in yourself and you're so content and like you know who you are. You don't really let things like rock you or sway you. You know, like you are so good at just moving, rolling with the punches kind of thing. So that is what's truly badass about you. You are very like content in yourself and you don't let things rock you. You might be spiritual, or you just might know how to like ground and center yourself. You definitely know how to like rest and maybe almost heal yourself is what I'm seeing. Like the bunny is like very like they're very lucky, like abundant, like it's a very good omen. And so it's almost like you just like let things come to you. It's like you know how to take care of yourself and like nurture your own spirit, and so it like naturally helps you. Sorry, I'm fidgeting. It naturally helps you attract abundance. So you're very good at getting the things you want and also healing through cycles of like trauma and like shadows and abuse and whatever. So your form of badass is you just have this natural ability to well, yeah, like just move through life. Like you have this natural ability to heal yourself and get past things and keep moving. Like you have this like unending resilience. Yeah, you've definitely gotten past disappointments. this is specific for some people, and for some people this is going to sound crazy, so if you're not into that, like, just ignore this. But some people delve into this spiritual side and some people don't, okay? But even if you don't, doesn't mean that people can't do this against you. You might have been experiencing some dark energy or black magic or that kind of thing, like spiritual attacks. And some people do this very like creepy and literal and like have like rituals and stuff like that. Some people literally just like scroll on your Instagram and hate on your pictures, and they like say negative things to you, and that's like a form of spell. So it's, you know, that's a form of spiritual assault. So you might have been experiencing like a lot of criticism or disappointing relationships or backstabbing or betrayals, or just like something that just like left you really bitter. And I feel like someone was trying to silence you with the snake around the neck. Like someone was trying to kind of cut off your voice is what I feel like. Like someone might have been like literally kind of targeting you in the workplace, if you're in the limelight in some way. Like it's like there's a snake in the grass. Like people within your like circle or in your close life, whether like by choice, like your friends or like your colleagues or just people you interact with in your field or whatever it is, like your neighborhood, like you felt like outcasted or rejected or really like at odds with these people in some way, and you felt in the end very what's the word, like you just like took it personal basically. Like, what is so wrong with me? So you felt you were pretty offended and upset by all this, whatever went down. But yeah, so you have a like an unending resilience to get through any kind of adversity. With the Page of Wands, yeah, it's like unending passion. It's like you're always on a quest for passion. You're always on the hunt for like new ideas, new ambitions. Like you might be kind of an innovator, creative, maybe more entrepreneur type. Like people might just envy that or kind of see this in you. You might work in magic with the moon here. You may or may not, but either way, it's just like you have a natural, like I said, ability to like create your own abundance and reality, like, and to heal yourself. Like you have some kind of natural power with energy, whether you know it or not. So yeah, so your badass is like, you're just really stealthy, and like the way you move in the world, it's like wherever you go blossoms. It's like you just move like by the seat of your pants and you make it work. Like, so you are just very like innovative and resourceful, and people just really admire that. So that's just really badass about you. Two of Swords, you are very decisive, so you have a very sharp mind. You can see through bullshit pretty easily. You have a sixth sense for the truth is what I see. And so that is something that makes you really badass. Like the way you can manipulate energy is you can feel and see it so clearly. So you might be a clairsentient or just have like natural energy. I don't know. But either way, like you're very decisive, and it's just like when you make a decision, you know, and it's very clear within your mind and within your spirit. So that like that quality to be so to be so grounded in yourself and to like really be confident in your decisions, like that makes you really badass. Because you're able to follow like your inner spirit, you know, like you don't really get tripped up by your mind or your heart. Like those do play into it, but at the end of the day, you make your decisions with your spirit. So that is where your purity comes from. You really tap into that inner voice where the mind and the heart can't really make sense of it, you know, so you know that it's not being foggy by anything else. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but so yeah, like you have this very deep spiritual connection, and I think that is where your strength comes from. Ace of Pentacles. So yes, Like, you just grow abundance wherever you go. Things blossom. Like, this is purple. It's a very royal color. Like, you might have royal blood. Like, you just really attract and know and understand abundance. Maybe it's just kind of in your blood. Like, maybe if you don't remember, maybe in a past life you really were wealthy and you understand it on some level. Maybe even just an energetic level. But I see you might have a rags to riches story, and if you don't have it yet, you might be on your way. So yeah, this feels like a come up, to be quite honest. So your badass ability might be to outgrow a socioeconomic status, or to have a rags to riches story, or to overcome some crazy obstacles, like crazy, like disappointments and heartache and juggling a lot. Like, you've been through a lot, it's quite clear, and you almost make it look easy. So you might be reaping a karmic reward for all this. So you might have just like kept your grace, kept your dignity, kept your head on straight through a lot of bullshit, is what I see. And this makes you really badass. Like, you didn't let it affect you. You didn't let it tarnish you at the end of the day. And it seems like time will tell and karma is going to pay you back in the end. So it's almost like you're going to reap a karmic reward that the universe is handing you, that you didn't even have to clear your, like, it's almost like the universe is doing this for you. So that's really cool. Aces are always gifts from the universe, and justice is always karma. So let's look into what else makes you badass, pal one. Green man. Yeah, you are very connected to the earth, to Mother Nature. You might have like a very spiritual ancestral line or past history, a very like indigenous kind of culture that was very close with the earth and the cycles of the earth, and like herbs and tide cycles, and like everything. I'm sounding stupid, but like fishing and like astronomy, and just like being very connected with nature and that. So yeah, the mountains, you're very strong like that. This is your strength. Like, I think you very much lean on like your spiritual and that like side. Like, I think you literally like do plug into nature for your strength. You might have a lot of earth energy in you and just feel very like connected, but yeah, it's like you know how to flow. You know how to flow with Mother Nature, and that gives you some kind of like edge over other people. Perspective, yeah. So you have this higher perspective. You might have like alien guides, or like some of your guides might be from like other like far away places. So this gives you like a deeper perspective than some people that maybe don't have the same kind of like influences around them. Yeah, DNA, karma. What am I talking about? So maybe this is like literally like a payout for your bloodline. Like, maybe this is like written in the stars, you know what I mean? Like, maybe this is like meant to be, and you're just following out this path, and because you're doing the right thing and like listening to your inner voice, you are learning the lessons you need to learn and going the places you need to go, and you really are ascending and making your ancestors proud, and they are going to pay you back, is what I'm seeing. So what's badass about you is you really are like a cool, resilient, spiritual warrior type. Like, you really just do give a shit about everything and people, and you really are trying to be woke and change some things. So it seems like you have a really pure spirit, pal one, and you're going to be rewarded for it. So that is awesome. That's all I have for you today. Since we have 4 pals, I don't want to drag on too long. So if you got anything out of this, please comment down below. I'd love to hear it, and I will definitely respond. And yeah, subscribe, because I will be making more. All right, bye, pile 1. So pile 2, what's badass about you? I wanted to do kind of a lighthearted video, so here we go. We're doing Austero Tarot, and this is Earth Magic Oracle, I think. Anyway, so we'll dig into it. Oh, the Fool. So you are a risk taker. You definitely have courage. You don't let anything stop you. You really go for it in life, and this makes you badass. To the point where you might even get a little beat up, and that's okay because you're always moving forward, and it gives you this really like strong drive for life, and you're just focused. Like, you're focused on bigger and better things, and people see that and they're really impressed by it. So that's cool, pile 2. Knight of Swords. Yeah, you're definitely just going for it. You have this fierce energy. Bears are very protective. They're like one of the most like family oriented, protective energies. So you might be very family oriented and protective of people around you is what I see. And like, you have like a courageous spirit, but it's for a cause. So this is what people admire about you and makes you pretty badass, is you fight for people. You fight for what you care about. You stand up for what you care about. Yeah, it's like, it seems like you really are, you might be like a community activist. Like, you're pretty involved and outspoken is what I'm seeing. So that's pretty badass. Yeah, Judgment. So you might like have like a political job, or you might work for, oh my gosh, I almost bumped this, work for the state, or just like volunteer, or you have some kind of position where you help people or you do something for humanity or others is what I'm seeing, and that makes you pretty badass. So even if this is just on an energetic, you pray for like your city or something like that, like, you are pretty badass. I feel like you're energetically one of the good guys. I don't know if that's even a thing, but that's what I see. You're honest. Like, you really are like a truthful person, and you're no BS with these two. Like, you really just are pretty open and honest, and you are who you are, and you get what you get kind of person. And that makes you pretty badass. Like, you're pretty authentic. Yeah, you might be even like childlike in a way, like just very innocent. Like, you don't let things jade you is what I see. Like, you maintain your like inner innocence. Even if you're an adult or you're very like mature, you still have that like inner lightness, like the Fool energy. Like, you still have that inner hope. And that makes you pretty badass. Let me see if I can get anything off of this. Like, you might have felt pretty spiritual from a young age is what I'm seeing, or participated in some kind of religion or ceremony. This might have played into your character, the shaping of who you've become. Yeah. You've overcome a lot of obstacles. You might have gone through foster care or adoption, or you might have just felt like the black sheep in your family. But I feel like you went through a lot in childhood, and maybe didn't always feel like you had the help you wanted or the support you needed. So something that makes you badass is you've gotten through this. Yeah, but for better or worse, you've been through some stuff and you didn't let it get to you. Like, you remained your innocence and your like inner hope. Eight of Swords. You might suffer from anxiety and you still wear it well. You're still functional. You might still have a family, still have a job, still have like, you know, a fully active life. But you might have some pretty crippling anxieties or fears. You don't really maybe necessarily always admit or talk about, but Spirit sees this, Spirit knows this. They really do give you the support you need, or try to. Now, you might not have always had that, but really reach out if you do need it, because I can see that maybe you kind of wear a mask, like you pretend like nothing's wrong, and maybe you really are good and functional and having great days, but you know, it doesn't mean you don't need more healing or just, you know, I don't know. Anyway, so what's badass about you is you kind of wear your scars openly, like people can see it, but it's also like they admire you, that you're like, yeah, I'm going through this, but I'm getting through it. You know, like you're kind of maybe open about some of your shadows that you deal with. Empress, yeah. So it's like you're very much a leader in like a natural, loving kind of way. You might display your own healing for others to mimic and implement. Like you might be kind of like a natural healer or like mother or leader of some kind. If you're not like a feminine, you definitely have a lot of feminine energy in your chart. Maybe there's like, I think the cups and the coins are feminine. Yeah, I think so. And I think swords and wands are masculine. I'm pretty sure. I have to look into that. But you might just have like more of those elements that make you kind of more feminine and soft in your energy. I don't know. But this is kind of badass about you because you're very just like loving. You see everybody. You see things from all sides. You see all perspectives. You really are a gentle soul that wants to bring like unity to people. So that's pretty badass about you. You're like your ability to be unbiased and step outside of yourself and outside of your own maybe circumstances. You might work in like the community or different like social work, or like you just have like a pretty broad background. I see you might have like moved around a lot as a kid. Just you've seen a lot of things, so you empathize with people. You might be an empath. Yeah, you have this energy about you where you just feel protective of yourself and of others. But it's very like it's very honorable. Ace of Wands. So yeah, like you have this fire and this drive inside of you to really change things, to push things forward. You have like a you have, what is the word? It's just a passionate spirit. It's like you're kind of maybe like a catalyst, like someone that comes into people's lives to stir it up, but for the good. Like you try to kind of push people beyond their boundaries a little bit, the way a coach would push you, you know, like just trying to make you better, trying to refine you, trying to like take that talent and make something of it. Like you're kind of that kind of person for people. So you might be kind of mothering. You might take people under your wing and you might mentor them. You might kind of be that like mentor that you wish you had when you were little kind of thing. And people really admire that about you. You definitely have heavy spirit guides around you, maybe some fire signs, and you might be into moon magic or just magic in general, but you are very powerful energy nonetheless, and I can see it's for good. You have some ties to the desert, Indian culture, or vision quests. You might have a strong connection with like an animal spirit or know what your animal spirit is. I think you can take like quizzes online for that, but anyway, there might be something there you might want to look into. I don't know, I just feel like you're the kind of person that takes like a like yearly like day of silence or like trip by yourself, or like it's like you're very spiritual in a way that you do it with intention, and this like makes your giftings stronger and more pure. So yeah, it's like you might be kind of shy or introvert, calm and cool and collected on the outside, but people can tell there's a lot more to you than meets the eye. Like with the iceberg here, yeah, it's like they know that when they see you, there's this intrigue, and it's like they know there's so much more, and they just want to like look behind the curtain, but they're trying to be respectful and they want you to just open up to them. So you might be more of a private person. So this is a strength of yours and makes you kind of badass because it's like makes you very like James Bond and like mysterious. Fairies and earth magic. Yeah, you might be into magic in some way or the occult, earth magic. So yeah, with the Empress and earth magic, with the Ace of Wands right here. Yeah. You could have grown up in the occult, or you might have just always been attracted to it. I think you do have some natural abilities, whether you know it or not. So you might want to look into that. I mean, do what you want. But yeah, I just feel like you have strong energy around you, kind of like leading you in a spiritual direction and assisting you. And they want you to keep going in that direction. So tree grounding. So maybe spend some time outside. Maybe you've been cooped up a little too long in quarantine. Maybe it's a good time to go take like a nap in the sun or a long walk. Or go like read a book under a tree or whatever you're into. Maybe take a bike ride or something, or go skate at the park. But I think your guides want you to get outside and really like absorb that natural energy that gives you so much life, because it's part of your giftings. Like you really are badass and you really have a natural ability to harness that energy and work with it. But it's like you need to go recharge. So don't neglect that. Maybe go on like a hike with a friend or something, or go sit by the river and roll a blunt. I don't know. But yeah, like you, pal too, like you're just like badass. Like you're just a good person is what I see. Like you really are natural and like loving, and you're just like exude this like natural goodness with the Fool and with the Empress. Like this like energy is just very soft, and it doesn't feel like artificial in any way. Like you don't put on any kind of like front for people. Okay, pal 2, I hope that made sense. That's why you're badass. Please comment down below. I'd love to hear your feedback, and subscribe if you like what you saw. I will be making more soon. Okay, so pal 3, what is badass about you? I'm doing Ostera Tarot, and this is the Earth Magic Oracle. So we're gonna get right into it. Page of Pentacles. You are a seeker. I'm not surprised that all these are coming out spiritual, but you definitely are spiritual, or you might be just developing your spiritual gifts. It might be like you might be newer on this journey. Or you might just be curious and you're kind of like delving into tarot, trying to figure out what this is about. Either way, you're very curious, and this is a good thing, and I think you're on some kind of journey. So this might be a soul path, a career path, or a spiritual path, but you're in like a seeking mode. Like you're trying to figure out what piece of your puzzle is missing. So you're badass because you're introspective. Like you want to know yourself. You want to like go deeper, and you might be like way more advanced or mature for your age. So with a page, like you're just badass. Like I think you're very like ahead of your curve in life. The 7 of Cups, yeah, like you might get attention, you might be in the limelight, you might be a young entrepreneur, you might just be like somebody well known in the community, but even at a young age, I can see that you are really, you're capable of a lot, you're juggling a lot, you are doing a lot, so you might be pretty driven. So that's pretty badass. Like you're somebody that really goes after your goals, no matter what the context is. So you don't really let normal restrictions in life and like demographics or any of the like your like privileges or non-privileges or whatever your story was, like you don't really let anything hold you back. So that's pretty badass about you. You might have really strong family ties, or just a really strong desire to build a legacy for your own family. So you're just not going to let anything like throw you off. You might have a lot of earth energy in you. Or you just might have very respected like parents or grandparents. You might have like a close bond with them. Like in some way they might have just instilled like a lot of like goodness in you. Yeah, or you just want to have that in your future. So that's like your motive, is to build into that. So what's badass about you is you really care about your family. Like you really care. It's not just about you. It's not just about attention or fame or money or looking good or whatever people strive for. You really care about everyone, and you really are introspective on a personal level. Like you try to make yourself better, to make the world better, to make everyone else happy. You know, like you really like, you have a good heart. Aw. Two of Cups. You might be in love. You might be in love with somebody. You just might be really lovable. People fall for you easy. So what's badass about you is just like you exude this like very inviting kind of energy, like the kind of person that comes up, the kind of friend that when they show up, they're like, hey, and they like give you a big hug kind of thing. Just you make people feel seen. You make people feel appreciated and like taken care of and noticed, like no matter if you're close with them or not. So like people really appreciate that about you, and that like warmth that you exude to others. So Pal 3, I can see that's kind of one of another, I can't talk, sorry. That's another thing that makes you badass. Yeah, Ace of Swords, like you're no BS, you're very intelligent, you're a leader. I definitely am getting like more masculine energy here, or just like you feel this like protective kind of like Papa Bear energy. Sorry to like over, generalize or whatever, but, or over generalize. That was really bad, sorry. You just feel, it's like you have a thick skin. It's like you don't let things get to you because you're just on a mission. It's like this guy's like ready for battle. He's just, yeah, what's up? Like what's badass about you is you don't let things faze you. It's like you go to bat for yourself and for people that you care about. Yeah, you might literally like go to bat in like the astral realms. You might do spiritual work in your dreams. You might just have very like peaceful energy. Like you balance yourself and people around you. Like you're very good at just like making sure everyone's good kind of thing. Like you don't allow bullshit in your life or around you at all. So in your like career life and like anywhere you go, you exude peace, and you command it, and you make sure it happens, and there's no stupidity or BS that happens around you because you don't tolerate it. And you're in some kind of position of control that where you have a say so. So even if you're younger, it's just like, I don't know, like you just don't put up with it, and so that makes you very strong, and people like that you kind of stand up for them too. So yeah, you're adventurous, you push forward. You're just very grounded and strong. It's like what's badass about you, it's like you sit down and you make a plan and then you go make it happen. Like you don't really hesitate. You don't have that like hesitation in you. Yeah, it's just like you have a very strategic mind to where you can think it out, make a good plan, and then execute it. And so people really appreciate that about you. I can see this, you have this balance. You might have a lot of earth and water, but it's like you're very loving but very strategic. You have this very like analytical side of you, an intellectual side, and then you have this very like compassionate, loving side. And you combine both of them as you've grown or as you're learning and maturing, and you're becoming quite powerful, and you're wielding all of your talents, for good, and to take care of other people, and to kind of, nurture other people. So that's really cool. You're a hard worker. It's like you work hard at caring for people because you want to. Ebb and flow, yeah, ocean. So you just have a lot of compassion. You have a very big heart, Pal 3. you just want to be there for people. You want to consume them. You want to kind of wash away their pain, you know, their past. Like, you have a very soothing, big, loving kind of energy. Tsunami, yeah, it's just like you want to just like whoosh, like energetically just cleanse people. It's like you wish you could just like take them and just kind of like through like a spiritual car wash kind of thing, but like more intense maybe. So you have big love, and I see that it does impact people around you. Communion. An eagle might be significant to you. You might have some kind of like Indian in your blood or your heritage, or you might be attracted to them or have a past life in an Indian culture or some like significant interaction with them. But just because this card is depicting it, you just commune. You commune with nature, yeah, with like the Temperance card. Like you just know. You know how to move people, you know how to protect people, you have this like eagle eye, like, yeah. So that is your like spiritual talent. You have this big heart and perspective, and you're able to use it for just love, basically. Like, lotus flower unfoldment. Yeah, it's like you nurture people back to life, and maybe some people in the most unthinkable things or unpredictable ways, or just like people that were kind of cast out. You might work in like recovery work or something. Like you kind of like help people and nurture them back to health, whether you do this deliberately or just like energetically with people in your life. They might just get kind of nurtured just by being around you, because you're like that, like loving. So you might have a very healing energy, whether you know it or not. You might be developing it right now, but this is like something that's like really significant with you. It's like you work really hard to fuel this like compassion, and I feel like this is going to have something to do with your career, whether now or in the future. So that's all I have for you, pal 2. Please comment down below if you have anything. I'd love to hear your feedback. I will definitely comment back. Yeah, I'm going to be doing giveaways, I think, through May and June. So subscribe for that and subscribe for more. We're moving on to the last pal. Bye, pal 3. So pal 4, let's see. We're using Austero Tarot, and I think this is, I'm drawing a blank, Earth Magic Oracle. So we're going to jump into what makes you badass, pal 4. So, oh, I feel like I'm like tripping over my tongue now after 3 pals. Get it together, Bethany. Okay, let's go. Okay, so 6 of Pentacles. You are very good at juggling. You are very fair-minded. You're kind of a grounded person. You might be more earth energy in your chart, but I see that like what's badass about you is you have a lot of integrity. What's badass about you is you're very like respected and like even. Like you might just have like a set schedule or a good routine or a nice job. Like people really can see your movements and they admire you in some way. So something that you're doing is working and people can tell and they're taking notice. So that's pretty badass. 8 of Cups. Like what's badass about you is you walk away from stuff that doesn't serve you. Like you don't let things dwell anymore. You don't get stuck in things that aren't for you anymore. Like you've learned to set boundaries in your life. So that's badass. Like you remove yourself from situations you feel like you energetically just don't belong in. And you've developed that discernment within yourself. I see with the eagle, like, yeah, he has this perspective to see. So it's like he knows what's for him, what's in these cups, and what's not. And he's not going to be fooled. So it's like you have that upper insight, which is pretty cool. Sorry, I'm so fidgety today, you guys. I think I need to go on like a long run. I've been pent up too long in quarantine. Anyway, so that's pretty badass. It's like you might have like some kind of low-key psychic, or you're just very intuitive. Like you don't let things don't get past you easily. So you move very kind of calculated almost, like you make good decisions. So you might bring people together. You might be kind of the life of the party. You might be the glue in your family, or like the fun one of your friends. Like you kind of like have that social energy and you bring people together a lot. So that's pretty badass about you. You might have some southern roots or some ties to, what am I trying to say? Just some bloodlines in the South that are a little more in like, not voodoo maybe, but kind of. That's for maybe just a couple of you. So anyway, I saw that. Or you just might be in a community of women, or you might really support women, or you might be a feminist. But that's pretty badass about you, is you're pretty open-minded whether you are a woman or not. I can see you really admire them, support them, or work with them in some way. Four of Cups. So what's badass about you is you have high standards. You don't let like just anybody approach you. You don't let just like anything fly. Like I said, you set boundaries. Like, so what's badass about you is you really like know who you are, you know your worth, and you're at that point in life where you take care of yourself, you look out for yourself. And if somebody's disrespecting you or crossing that line, you make that distinction with them in a respectful way, but you ask for respect and you demand it. And if they're not willing to give it, then you end that relationship, because you're not willing to, you're not going to waste your time with people that don't want to have a loving, energy exchange. It's just, no. So yeah, I can see that that's kind of where you're at, and that's pretty badass. You're just, you're unwilling to like put up with surface level relationships or any kind of fuckery, for lack of a better word. Page of Swords. So you might be like low-key, like a spy, or very good at like finding things out or searching things on the internet. You might be the one kind of friend that people go to for advice, or when they don't have an answer to something. You're very like just, you can solve any kind of problems. You're pretty quick with your mind and like new ideas. And maybe communication. You might be just a good like communicator. You could even work as like a diplomat kind of thing if you wanted. Like you're very good at like seeing both sides and articulating both sides, and I think that's a strength of yours, whether you know it or not. Five of Pentacles. So you're not really a recluse, but you take time out for yourself to feed your spirit, and that is something that makes you badass, because it builds you up to the point where you get to accomplish your goals and develop your gifts, and it just like makes you a badass because you're taking care of yourself. Like, so you really do buy into self-love and self-care, I can see, with like your boundaries and like your friend groups. It's like you really are building like a positive life, like higher intention, good vibes. Like you're really working on those kind of things. So that's commendable. Yeah, you have some kind of faith, and I don't know if it's like traditional or whatever, or just an inner guidance, but you have a faith to you and a resilience that makes you badass, and a purity. So that keeps coming out in all these piles, but it's like I feel like you guys are very like pure in intention and heart. Like, I don't know if people that are drawn to this just feel that way, but like I'm seeing a lot of just really digging into yourself and building yourself up, and like that's pretty cool. Like you really are developing who you are and your unique gifts, and there's nothing better than that. So that's really badass about you. You might be stepping into something that's more personal, or trying something new that's like for you. Yeah. 10 of Wands. You're a little scared about this, but you're willing to like take on this big feat. So maybe you're like leaving a group and going out on your own, or like you're just taking something on that's a little scary, I see, but you're like going for it. So you have a lot of courage, like you have a lot of tenacity and drive, and that's pretty badass. it's like when you have a goal, you really grip to it and you don't let go until spirit takes you there. It's like, you know that you can push and push as much as you can and give something your energy, and then spirit is going to take you the rest of the way. So you have a strong faith. The world. And you're going to get there. Like, cycles are going to move. Things are changing. This is fixed energy. So it's like, you know, you understand, like, you understand the energy of the world and how to move with it and how to work with it and how you fit into the equation. So you've reached a level of maturity along your path where you're feeling pretty good, and you are like, it's like you've narrowed in on some kind of target, whether personal or whatever. It's like there's something you want, something you're going after, some kind of goal or desire, and you are like laser focused. And so you're willing to do the work at this point. And so at that point, when you surrender and you're willing to do the work, it's like nothing can stop you. It's like you're building yourself, you're healing yourself, you're using self-love to like refine your own gifts. Like, you're just going for it, pal, for. So that's like really badass. Lightning, power, what did I say? It's like you're just like literally crazy energy right now. Like, you're like a storm. Yeah, you're just literally plowing through. So you are very determined right now to do something. You're like being activated. So maybe it's like your time right now to start something or to initiate something or to really drive towards something. Like you're feeling fueled by spirit, I see, and you're listening. So that's really cool. Wolf instinct. Yeah. Yeah, maybe you're getting comfortable with like your lone wolf. Like you're really like honing your inner beast, like your inner like strength. Like you might have had like your instincts, like you're tapping into this like spiritual side of you, and it's very sharp. Yeah, like you're not afraid. It's like maybe you're harnessing your spirit guide energy to give you that edge to go for what you want. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about wolves, so you might want to like Google eagles and wolves and see what's up with those. But anyway, I'm not getting like a clear message about what it means. I think you need to like, if that fits with you at all, go like look it up. Dragonfly emergence. Yeah, I just see like it's like you're stepping into your destiny right now. That sounds dramatic, but I like literally feel like you're being activated. So like spirit is really like pushing you right now to take that time, and it looks like you are like you're just really going for it, and this is really inspirational right now. Like I'm really feeling like inspired, like you're just really like ready, and so you're not letting anything hold you back. So that's what that is what is badass about you. Like maybe in the past you held back, or maybe you struggled with fear, or whatever the case is, but you have this like driven, nothing is going to stop me kind of spirit, and the universe is about to honor that. So get ready for some crazy changes in your life. I can definitely see, if you stay on this track, that some good things are going to come for you. So that's awesome, pal. For comment down below and let me know if it resonated at all. I always love to hear your thoughts, and you know, subscribe if you want more. And I'll be doing some giveaways in May and June, so that's for subscribers. So definitely let me know. And yeah, oh, I forgot to say this in the entire other videos, but obviously if you guys want a personal reading, the information's down below. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye.